Okay, for today's full body chilled out direction session, we will start standing. We're just going to tap our chin to chest, roll the shoulders, nice and slowly, rolling all the way down. And when you get to the bottom, slight bend in the knee, then rolling it all the way back. One vertebra at a time. And then same again, tucking the chin, rounding the shoulders, rolling all the way down. At the bottom, slight bend, rolling it all the way back up. Yeah, same again, chin to chest, rolling the shoulders, rolling it down. All the way back up. We'll do this one more. This time we're going to hold at the bottom, tucking the chin, rolling it all the way down. At the bottom, keeping the legs straight if you can. Hold on to the elbows. We're just going to rock it forward and back. Lengthening out the legs, lengthening out the spine, let the head hang heavy. Good. Interlacing the arms around the legs, slight bend in the legs, and then you just going to straighten the legs. And then bend and straighten. Nice and slowly bending and straightening. Every time you straighten the legs, try and pull yourself in a little bit deeper. Last one, hold it here. Good. Let go of the arms. We're going to take them behind the back. We're going to interlink the fingers, punching the arms away, and then kicking them down towards the floor. And then just hold it. You can have a slight bend in the knees if that feels more comfortable. Otherwise, keeping them straight. Slight bend, bring the arms down, bring the hands to the floor. We're going to cross one foot behind the other, walking the hands round to the side of the back leg. Just holding it here. Walking the hands back, and crossing the foot, crossing the other foot behind, walking the hands to the other side. Walking the hands back to the front, uncrossing the feet. We want the feet about hip width or just slightly outside. We'll bend the legs, dropping the hips down to the floor. Then we're going to straighten the legs, dropping the head down. So just flowing between the two, hips down, head up, and then hips up, head down. Nice. Keep going with that. Good. Nice and gently, just from one to the other. Nice. This time, as you drop the hips down, just bring the hands together. We're going to hold it here, pressing the knees out. Nice long spine. Good. Hands down to the floor. We're going to take a nice big side step. And then point and flex the leg out to the side. Up and over to the other side. Then on the other side, point and flex. Up and over. We're just going to gently lift the lower. So you're going to lift the hip, lower and down, lift the hips, and lower and down. Just one side to the other. Bring it up to the middle. Forward fold, trying to bring the elbows down to the floor. If you can't reach the elbows to the floor, placing the hands on the floor, just holding it there. And walking the feet in a little bit. I'm going to take the arms over to one side to bring both hands to one leg. Just gently pulling yourself in towards that leg. With a bend and straighten the opposite leg. Taking the hands over to the other side. And then bend and straighten that opposite leg. Good. Hands to the floor, stepping the feet together, walking the hands out to the down dog, and then we're just going to walk one leg and then the other. Good. Pressing both heels down towards the floor. We're going to bend both knees, gently tap into the floor, and then pressing back into our down dog. So we come into our tabletop, and then pressing back to our down dog. Putting tabletop and down dog. Tabletop and down dog. Good. Hold that down dog position. Try and press deeper. Really lengthen from the hands to the hips. Really lengthen from the heels to the hips. We're going to roll through the spine, tucking the belly button in, tucking the ribs in, coming all the way down to the floor. Lowering the body nice and slow. Good. From here, we're going to have our hands either side of our chest. We're going to do 10 raises. This is lifting and lowering the body for 10. On 10, up and hold. Good. Lowering down. We're going to do 10 lifts of the lower body. Squeeze the glutes, lift and lower the feet. On 10, up and hold. Good. Lowering the feet down. Pressing back to a wide knee child's pose. Keeping the knees in that wide knee child pose position. We're going to roll forward and back. So we're going to bring the hips towards the floor. And then we're going to press the hips back towards the heels. Just nice and slowly sliding all the way forward and then pressing all the way back.
Oh.
Yeah, bringing the hips in line with the knees and just holding it there. Thinking about getting the belly button down towards the floor. We're just going to hold it here. Nice deep breaths. You can close down the eyes if you want to really relax. Just focus on the position. As the body gradually accepts, just let the knees slide wider if they will. Making sure that the hips stay in line with the knees. You don't want them coming too far forward or too far back. Yes, coming up onto the forearms, gently pressing the hips all the way back towards the heels, coming up onto the hands, just letting the back arch. So sitting the hips to the heels, keeping the knees nice and wide, just arching the back. If it feels good to you, you can place the hands on the knees and arch, or you can keep the hands on the floor. Good, gently walking the hands forward, bring the knees in, coming over to seated. And we're going to cross one leg over the other. So we'll have one leg sort of shin running parallel. We're going to bring the other foot place on top of the knee. Place that other knee on top of the foot. We're going to rotate in towards the foot. We're going to forward fold. We're just holding this. Nice deep breath. Letting yourself sink over that foot. Gently easing up out of it. We're going to change it over to the other side. Bring the other leg underneath. Pressing the other leg on top. Foot on the knee, knee on the foot, rotating towards that top knee and forward fold. You may find that one side is tighter than the other, that is absolutely okay. Just keep breathing into it. Good, nice and gently. Easing up, out. We're going to take the legs out into this straddle. From here, we're just going to rock through. So we're going to roll through the hips, sliding the belly button forward and back. So we want to keep the chin and the chest proud, We don't want to be bringing the shoulders down as we rock forward. We're going to keep lifting the chest up. We're just rolling through the hips. Good. We're going to draw a nice big circle with the hips. So with the belly button through the hips. Keeping that chin and chest out. And same either direction. Nice big circle. Good. Coming into the middle, bringing the hands down to the floor. We do little press ups, kind of drop our chest down towards the floor. Make sure that we're squeezing the shoulder blades together. We want to be thinking about bringing the belly button down, not bringing the face or the shoulders down. Good. On 10, down, and just hold it wherever you feel comfortable. Nice flat back. Think about getting that belly button down, so we're rolling through the hips. Kind of lift the hips to the back up to the ceiling, dropping the belly button down to the floor. And we're just holding it. Nice deep breaths. Again, you can close down the eyes if it feels good to do so. Good. Gently walking the hands back in. Raising the legs. And bring it onto your back. We're going to have the arms out to the side. Have our knees at 90 degrees. We're just going to drop them side to side. So feet in line with knees, knees in line with hips. We're dropping the knees one side, lifting them up, and then dropping them down the other. Keeping both shoulders flat to the floor. Good. Drop into one side and hold it. You place the hand on top of the knee, closing down the eyes. If it feels comfortable, you can straighten the top leg. Nice deep breaths. Good. Releasing the leg, slowly bringing the knees up, taking them over to the other side. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Just holding it there. If it feels good to do so, you can straighten that top leg. Nice deep breaths. So you can both shoulders on the floor. Gently releasing that leg, bringing the knees back to center. We're just going to rock the hips, lifting the hips off the floor. Good. We're going to rock and take the legs overhead. So even if the feet don't touch the floor, that's absolutely fine. They can just hover up. If they do touch the floor, then let them. You can walk yourself over onto your shoulders. And then we're going to bend and straighten one leg, then the other. So even if the feet are higher up, you can still bend and straighten. Good. And I'm going to bend and straighten them both together. Both legs. I'm going to bend and straighten. Trying to get the feet as far away as feels comfortable. Good. Bend and fold. Straighten the legs. Pulling them in towards you nice and slowly. One vertebra at a time, just rolling down through the spine. Once the hips hit the floor, bringing the knees down. We're just going to take it into glute bridges. So heels to the floor and just lift and lower. On 10, up and hold. Good. Placing the hips down. Either with the hips down to the floor, you can take one foot and bring it under for a nice quad stretch. Your other option from here is grabbing a block. Placing the block underneath the hips and doing the same. So we're just going to do one leg at a time. Bring that foot underneath, opening the hip, opening the quad. We're just going to hold it here. Again, closing down the eyes. You can either straighten out the other leg or you can bend it. But the main focus is on our touch leg. Nice and gently untuck that leg, change it over to the other side, tucking the other foot underneath. Just holding it on the other side. Good, untucking that leg. We're going to bring the knee in towards the chest and lengthen out the other leg. So this time we're tucking the knee into the chest, lengthening the other leg out. You can keep the block underneath the hips, or you can do this without the block. I prefer doing it with the block. Good, change it over to the other side, bring the other knee into the chest, let the other foot drop down to the floor. Good, bringing both legs in, placing them down on the floor. If you've got a block, lift the hips to remove the block from underneath. We're going to roll over onto our sides, rolling it all the way over onto our knees. We're going to have one knee on the floor. We're going to bring the other leg out to the side. So we're sliding that foot. So the foot is in line with the knee. Just as far as it feels comfortable. From here, we're going to open, we're going to rotate in one direction, nice and controlled. We're going to bring that hand down, then we're going to rotate and open in the other direction. We're just going to rotate from one to the other, opening up to the ceiling, down, and then up to the ceiling. Perfect. Bringing that leg in, change it over to the other side. Boom. Stretch the other leg out to the side, hands into the floor. And we're doing the same again. So opening, bringing that hand down, and opening in the other direction. Perfect. Bring that leg in. We're going to take hold of our block, placing it in front. We're going to bring the elbows together onto the block, bring the hands together, and we're just going to let our shoulders sink down to the floor. You can rest your face onto your upper arms and just nice deep breaths. We're going to hold it here. Closing down the eyes and just focusing on that upper back and the shoulders just sinking down to the floor. Gently lifting up out of it. We're going to do one at a time. So we're going to place one hand onto our shoulder, then dropping that shoulder down to the floor. We're just going to hold that stretch. Head in and out. Change it over to the other side. Place the other hand on the block, the other elbow on the block, and the hand on the shoulder, and just sinking down to the floor.
Thank you, Abby.
Okay. Just keep breathing and just sinking deeper in. Even it out, we're going to take the block slightly further away, placing the hand onto the block this time, and then we're just going to sink our shoulders down. You can either rest the forehead on the floor, or you can rest the chin on the floor. So we've got our arms long. And we're still just trying to get that lower body, the upper body to sink low. Good. Gently easing out. Coming onto all fours, take it into our side cat after that. And big circles with the wrists. And the other direction. Good, sitting the hips back to heels. We're going to take one hand out to the side, sliding it out. We're going to reach that arm overhead. We're just going to gently bend and straighten the elbow of the floor arm, making sure that that opposite hip stays seated down to the floor. it's too much for the floor, you can do the same thing on a block. And we're going to hold. Good, gently coming up. We're going to do the same on the other side. Send the other arm out, reach the other arm overhead, and then bend and straighten. Again, if it's too much, close the floor and place the hand on the block. Do the same with the arm on the block. Make sure that opposite hip stays down to the floor. And bend and hold. Gently coming up. We're going to tuck our chin to chest. Interlink the fingers behind the head. Scooping the elbows together, dropping the shoulders down to the floor, lifting the top of the head up to the ceiling. Releasing the hands, bringing one arm over, bring the arm onto the forearm and the upper arm, and never using the joint for support. Change over to the other side. Yeah, gently release. We're going to come to a wall. If you haven't got a wall or a door, or you can either use a sofa or you can do it on the floor. We're going to go back to the elbows that we just did on the block, but this time we're going to place our elbows onto the wall. So I'll do it with my back to you first. So I'm bringing my elbows together, hands together. I'm going to sit the hips back and slide my ribs in towards the chest. In towards the wall. So if you haven't got space on the wall or door or anything, you can place the elbows on a chair or sofa. Otherwise you can do it on the floor. So elbows together, hips back, and hold them. Good, gently easing out and just round in the opposite directions. You can place the hands onto the wall or you can interlink the hands. We're just going to round in the opposite direction. And then we're going to do the same thing again. So we're bringing the elbows together, pressing the hips back, sliding our ribs and collarbone in towards the wall. Good, gently easing out. Same again, either hand on the wall or interlink the fingers. And just round in the opposite direction. Good, we're going to do the same again, but with our arms long. So we're going to have our hands on the wall, either flat palms or up on the fingertips. We're doing exactly the same thing that we've just done. So from here, we're going to press the hips back, looking up to the ceiling, sliding the ribs and the collarbone in towards the wall. And just hold them. If you want to make it easier, take the knees apart. If you want to make it harder, bring the knees together. Good, gently rolling out. And again, just rounding it in the opposite direction. We're going to come side onto the wall this time. We're going to reach one arm up. We're going to turn the fingers down towards the floor. We're going to place that palm onto the wall. You may need to come further away. We want to be able to press with that hand, really open up through the side of the body, slide the other hand down towards the floor. We're just holding. Good, gently easing up, out. Turn it over to the other side. Same on the other side, taking the outside arm up, take it overhead, fingers down towards the wall, and then pushing the body away. Gently easing up, out, sitting the hips back to heels, letting the knees drop wide, and you rest in child pose, either arms overhead or arms down to the side. Closing down the eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths here. Gently easing up out of that. And well done. It's such a hot day. Hope it was nice to do a gentle stretch.